In most of the current translation, John 1:1 reads, "In the beginning was the Word." Let us examine this phrase in the Greek. En arche ein halagos. En arche ein halagos. En arche ein halagos. The last word, you are probably familiar with it being pronounced logos. We know that that Jesus is the logos. Let's say it again. En arche ein halagos. There's a reason why I am pronouncing it as logos and not logos. Now, of course, as the introduction stated, we don't really know why or how Greek is pronounced in modern day because it just isn't spoken in modern day, in the modern day world. Later, you will have to judge for yourself. I am convinced it's logos instead of logos. Let's say that again. Let's say the phrase one more time. En arche ein halagos. En arche ein halagos. Did you notice when I was reading some of the words that some words divided into syllables? That process is known as syllabification. There are some rules around how to divide words so that they are pronounced properly. For right now, let's just look at and hear some natural words that you will naturally divide into syllables. Just know that each syllable will only have one vowel. And that's all you should know for right now, that each syllable will have at least one vowel. Let's quickly review the English pronunciation of vowels. There are five vowels: A, E, I, O, and U. There are two ways of pronouncing English vowels: the long way, A, E, I, O, U, and the short way, which requires a shorter breath, more guttural. A, I, If we were to give examples of that, the short vowel pronunciation would be A or A for cat, E for bed, I or I for pig, O or A for ox, and U or for up. Let's look at John 1:1 in the Greek. En arche ein halagos. We have 4 Greek vowels that help us pronounce the words. So before we actually can get into the syllabification of the 2 words that require 2 syllables, let's first look at the Greek vowels. I'm going to go ahead and introduce all of the Greek vowels to you, and then we're going to specifically look at the Greek vowels that comprise our phrase. So we're going to go over the Greek vowels. First vowel is alpha, epsilon, eta, iota, omicron, omega, upsilon. Now that we have examined the Greek vowels individually, let's see if we can match them categorically to English vowels. As you can see, the A connects with the alpha, the E connects with epsilon and eta, the I connects with iota, O connects with omicron and omega, and RU connects with upsilon. Now that we have looked at the Greek vowels, let me just take a moment to give you understanding of how Greek letters, whether they are consonants or vowels, are pronounced. Each Greek character has a name: alpha, beta, gamma, delta, sigma. However, each Greek character has an initial sound. It's the initial sound that you're listening for. So we have just learned the vowels: A, alpha, O, omega. In the consonants, you're also listening for the initial sound. So you are probably familiar with delta, like in Delta Airlines. D, delta, R, B, beta, gamma. Keep that in mind as we move into how to divide words into syllables. So we're ready to divide the 2 words in our phrase into syllables. And as we're learning how to divide 2 words, we're also going to begin learning some of the consonants that are represented. Okay, we're ready to divide the 2 words. We learned that words are divided with a vowel sound per syllable. The next thing we're going to do is deal with the consonant. In our first word, we should by now be able to recognize the 2 vowels that are present in the word arche, and that's the alpha and the eta. So the only 2 characters that are left are consonants. The first consonant is rho. The second consonant is ki. These 2 letters together are not spoken together. So therefore, because they're not spoken together, we divide them. We divide them right down the middle. Now remember, I said that the letter following alpha is called rho. That is the English R. If you were to write A and R together, it would be pronounced as R. Likewise, alpha and rho together is pronounced as R. The key is equivalent to the English letter K. And we know that the letter that follows key is the eta. If we were to put the key and eta together, it would be pronounced as K. So this word beginning is RK. Notice how I divided the word. I divided the word right down the middle, RK. Consonants that are grouped together but not voiced together are divided. In our example, rho and key are not blended, they're not voiced together, so therefore they are separated. Hey, we made it to our last word, logos. With this word we're going to learn 3 different consonants. Okay, so the 3 consonants that we're going to learn is the lambda, gamma, and sigma in that order. The lambda is the first character of the word logos. It has the L sound. The second character, which will be our dividing character, is the gamma, and it has the G sound. And then the last or final character is called the sigma, and it looks like the English S. Sigma comes in 2 flavors. The first sigma that you see can occur at any position within a word. The final sigma, called the sigma finalis, is always the final character in the word. You will never see a character that looks like the English S in the middle of the word. Okay, we're ready to divide this word along its center. Notice that the gamma is at the center. When a consonant is by itself, it blends in or is voiced with the vowel to its right. In this case, the gamma and sigma comes 1 syllable, gos. The last consonant that we need to learn for this particular phrase in John 1:1 is the Greek letter nu. It has the initial sound N. It is equivalent to the English letter N. We have a great opportunity to see how nu blends in with 2 vowels that are within the same family group, and that is the epsilon and the eta. The first word is in, and the second word that begins with eta is ain. Notice that N begins with a capital letter epsilon. In the Greek language, there was no such thing as punctuation. In fact, all the letters ran together, and it appears that the letters were also in all capital letters. So it behooves you to learn both the capital and lowercase letters in Greek, and make sure that you practice writing the letters over and over and over and over again until they become second nature to you. Okay, so we are done with the consonants and the vowels. There's a couple more things that we should look at in this particular passage, but I'm gonna hold off for right now. There is one concept that I do want to introduce to you, and that's the breathing marks. There's 2 breathing marks in Greek language. There's the rough breathing mark that sounds like an H, and there's a silent breathing mark that's called the smooth breathing. Smooth breathing is indicated by the right single quotation mark, and rough breathing is indicated by the left single quotation mark. Notice that words that begin with a vowel all have either a rough breathing mark or a smooth breathing mark. Well, let's examine smooth breathing. Notice that the epsilon, the alpha, and the eta all have smooth breathing marks. In other words, those are silent. You don't hear anything. You pronounce it just the way that you see it. N-R-Ain. N-R-K, ain. Okay? You don't hear the sound. However, look at the vowel omicron that's sitting by itself. That has a rough breathing mark right above it. It looks like a left single quotation mark. And rough breathing has the H sound. The way that you pronounce this word is ha. It happens to mean the. ha. How do you pronounce this entire phrase now? NRK ein ha lagas. NRK ein ha lagas. All right. Well, that does it for this session. The next session actually deals with a word study of the two main words presented here, beginning and word.